What's up everyone, John from ARTV. This is where you'll find album reviews, top 10 countdowns, and music discussion. Thanks for being here. Today we're going to be diving into the 5th studio album by alternative band Panic! At the Disco. Death of a Bachelor is the title of this record, and I realize that alternative isn't really a category that can define all of their music, but it's really just the easiest label to throw out there. They've played with a lot of different styles over the years, from the theatrics of A Fever You Can't Sweat Out to the folkiness of Pretty Odd, and then embracing their roots again, Vices and Virtues, and then a love of electronic music and Las Vegas, of course, on Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. That was their last album, and I was kind of torn on that one. Some songs really did grow on me. I thought there were some fantastic cuts, like Colorful, Far Too Young to Die, and of course, This is Gospel. Now, I recently put out my top 10 Panic! At the Disco songs list. If you would like to check that out, it's the top link in the description down below. Go give it a view, maybe see if any of our choices line up. It was just my personal list, and a lot of you guys really seem to enjoy it, so if you missed that, definitely go check that out. Now, with Death of a Bachelor, we see Brendon Urie taking on the responsibility for all the musicality on this record. Basically, all of the instruments that you're hearing, that's Brendon Urie. He's a very talented guy, I give him that for sure. Kudos to you for being able to play like 20 different instruments. Not all of the songwriting was done by Urie though, and not all of the production either. I think he oversaw some of it, but Jake Sinclair did a lot of it. And I think this album feels very uneven as a result of all of the ideas that went all over the place and just bringing in a lot of outside co-writers. It doesn't feel like an album, it feels like a collection of songs to me, and that's definitely something that's a little bit disheartening as a fan. You've got songs that try to appeal to a little bit more of the theatrical side, like Hallelujah and Emperor's New Clothes. Two songs that I really love, especially if you saw my top 10 countdown. Emperor's New Clothes actually made it on the list. I love that song. It's just so grandiose and over the top. It's just roaring and it's in your face. And I feel like some of these songs kind of phone that in, like Crazy Equals Genius. To me, all the horns and everything just feel very stale on that track. It's something that I thought I would have welcomed, but at the same time, I'm hearing it on some of these, like on that, and The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly. I will give it to that one. It does it a whole lot better. It feels very sneaking and sly. I like the kind of suspicious feel that the song has. But on the track Crazy Equals Genius, that's just one where I feel like it just feels a little bit disingenuous to me. It feels like something that you would have heard in a Las Vegas club in the 1950s or 60s while you're gambling. There's a band playing, a big brass section, and all of that good stuff. The chorus on this is rather annoying to me though, and that's a problem that I have with a couple of the hooks on this record. Another one that I did not hear preceding this album just because there were so many songs released and I did not want to spoil the majority of the record for myself, and I don't understand why Brendon Urie and the label thought that was a good idea, but one of the songs that was released ahead of time was Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time. If we're talking about uneven messes, Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time is a prime example of that. This song samples the B-52's old song Rock Lobster that you've probably heard if you ever played Rock Band back in the day. It's the bass line from that. And okay, that's cool. You want to sample an older track and throw it in there. That works a lot of the time. I've heard it pulled off so many times by a lot of different artists. But this time, mixing that together with these kind of off-kilter keyboard parts and just a weird jarring chorus that doesn't exactly sound like it flows very well, it's just not exactly the best and most rewarding listen for me. However, some of these songs have started to grow on me. LA Devotee is one of those. I really like Brendon's vocals on this track. It just sounds really enthusiastic, passionate. He's singing about a city that he loves. I've been to LA. I'm not really a big city guy, so maybe I don't fully understand, but this is good enough filler content for me. It's not their best work by any means. It felt a little bit more mediocre the first time I heard it, but I'm slowly warming up to it. I don't know if it's anything that I'll be coming back to. Golden Days is another one that would fall into similar territory, although I do like it a bit more. It feels like it's pretty much begging to be played at your 10-year high school reunion though, as everyone just sits there with tears in their eyes and there's a big montage going on screen as Golden Days plays in the background and you think about getting older and all of that stuff. I've already seen it used in an ESPN highlight reel, so it's just a matter of time before you start hearing this song everywhere. One criticism I definitely have of this record is the amount of songs that try to be anthems, kind of like Golden Days. It feels like it's meant to be used for a certain thing, like that, Hallelujah, even though I do like that song. Victorious, it's just these songs that don't really have that much heart to them. It's like they have a presence, and I'm definitely affected by them in some way, but there's not really that much substance there. Now, I can't deny that Victorious is a pretty damn good song. I don't really care for the vocals at the beginning of the song and the little chant that's going on, but the guitar riff on this thing, infectious as hell, just a massive chorus. Brendan Urie talking about turning up the crazy, just getting it on. It's a party song, it's a celebratory song, and it's a hell of a ride. I'm pretty pleased with how this album goes out, with House of Memories and Impossible Year stacking up back to back, the latter of those being an ode to Frank Sinatra, the legend who would have been 100 years old this past year. That's absolutely insane. It's been so long since we've had Sinatra in this world, but Brendan Urie still keeping a tradition alive, really just paying homage to him, it seems like, and that's a cool thing. I think this song feels very classy, very fresh. I like the kind of minimalistic approach that it's taking here. It's got your horns, your brass section, but it doesn't try any extra tricks like the track on this record, the title track, Death of a Bachelor, kind of does. Now, not to say that I don't love that song, because that's not true at all. In fact, it might be my favorite. I forgot how damn good this song was. I only heard it a couple of times whenever it premiered on Beats 1. Pete Wentz played it back in the day. I think it was back in September. And I really enjoyed the track, but I didn't come back to it just because I wanted to wait for the record. And whenever it hits me now, that chorus rolls around and it's just like, damn, Urie knocks it out of the park on the vocals on that track. I do like the kind of thumping bass and just kind of the distorted beat that's going on in the background mixed with that classic production style. It's an interesting twist, but I like that they put not only that style, but also Impossible Year. Two different sides, the modern and the classic Sinatra, and Urie playing homage to both. Do I love Death of a Bachelor? No, absolutely not. Do I like it? I like the idea of it, and I like aspects of certain songs, but it doesn't really pay off as a whole. This is easily, in my opinion, the weakest album that they've put out to date. I can appreciate the thought and ideas that went into this record, but it just felt a little bit robotic at times, with the drum performances, the bass lines, the guitars that at times just felt a bit stale. I like that they're still in there, but at the same time, they don't stand out enough to really get the job done. Overall, for me, I'm going to go with a light 3 out of 5 for Death of a Bachelor by Panic at the Disco. If you think that this is their best record, I have to ask, I've got to ask, have you listened to their other albums recently? If not, go back, play those again, and I think that you'll find that there's a lot better material from this group that's been in their back catalog. Thanks for watching, hitting the like button on this video. It was all just my opinion, so like I said, let me know about yours tastefully and respectfully in the comment section down below. You can check out my second channel or another Panic at the Disco review by clicking directly below me. All my links are in the description for social media. Other than that, I'll see you guys very soon right here on ARTV.
Wait, when do you want to smoke?
Right when it gets to, right
I'm
after
recording,
O
so get
and
ready.
Well Imagined. Right.
Quite too much.
No.
See how he did that? That's Crowder's.
That's also Jonathan being ridiculously
That's what
tall.
you do at Crowder's.